Loud and clear. Loud and clear.
Speaking terror, all know. So in this session, right, we're gonna keep it short and analyze this event, right? We're gonna learn what is this event, right? Yeah, and how does it, you see? No problem. Let's start with our core PCE price index. This one, month to month. This one here, not this one, right? All right, let's enter on it. Is it this one? I don't think it's this one. Yeah, month to month. So the the core personal consumption expenditure price index measures the changes in the price of goods and services purchased by consumers for the purpose of consumption. Interesting. For the purpose of what? Consumption, right? Excluding food and energy. Prices are weighted according to the total expenditure per item, right? It measures price change from the perspective of the consumer. It is a key way to measure changes in purchasing trends and inflation. Right? So the only interesting paragraph is this one. It says the higher than expected reading should be taken as positive bullish. What does this mean? Because we've been analyzing events together. The minute it says the higher than expected reading should be taken as positive bullish for the USD. Is there anyone who can explain this to us? But guys, we've been together and we've been reading the same paragraph and again and again. Or let me just continue, right? It says, the higher than expected reading should be taken as a positive bullish for the USD, right? While a lower than expected reading should be taken as a negative bearish for the USD, right? Nice. Let's go down. Higher than expected should be taken as what? Positive for USD. So let's look at March. It's March 28th, right? Let's look at the forecast. What's up with the forecast and what's up with the previous? They're the same, right? Right. But these events are two at the same time. Same thing. So when the forecast and previous is equal, in fact, when the forecast and previous are equal, right? Meaning we don't have a direction unless we look at the structure, right? Right. So both forecast and previous are equal. Let's check another event. Mind you, this event will take place at 2:30 today, right? All right, let's look at core price index, core PEC price index, right? Year to year, this one, right? Did I open it? I think I did open it. Yeah, it's this one. It says a core price index is less volatile measure for the price index, which excludes the most volatile and seasonal food and energy prices. The impact on the currency may go both ways, as a rise, both ways. Yeah, a rise in inflation may lead to a rise in interest rates, and a rise in local currency, on the other hand, during recession, a rise in inflation may lead to a rise in inflation may lead to a deepened recession and therefore a fall in local currency. Right, right. Let's go down and check our. So let's look at here. Right, our forecast is bigger than our what? It's bigger than previous. Right. So when the forecast is bigger than previous, what do you think it's going to happen, guys? We have a nice statement. In fact, let's dwell more on this event because this one is very interesting because they never told us when this is big, when this is bigger than this is the one they never specified straight, right? Right. So let's try to find out what this is, right? So it's called CPI index, right? Uh, CPI index. So we go to Google, right? This is simple, guys. Very simple. How are you guys doing? Are you guys fine? I see you're very quiet. There's no, I don't understand. Truly, we all understanding what's happening. And the videos are all the same, right? Nice.
Right, right.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I guess my problem is my network, but it's gonna open now. Now. Let's. Oh, yeah. Core price index. Oh, nice. Evan, I wanted more information from Wikipedia because it's supposed to appear here, but it never appeared. No problem. What is core price index? Let's watch here. All right. The core personal consumption expenditure. Okay, we're gonna go to AI. If this thing does not give us what we want, well, like AI is the future. Do you guys know that? You can go to AI and tell it to give you direction without you analyzing it. Without you analyzing. Yo, my network is a problem. A very big problem. As long as the period did not appear on the side, it means it's network. What does PCE mean, guys? Uh, United States core CPI, month to month. Guys, are you still here? Pella, guys,
We're still here, Chief.
we must not make we must not make these meetings too formal, because we will end up
Mm.
sleepy. We don't want to sleep. We want to yes. So let's talk. What does PCE mean? What do you understand? What do you guys understand by the term PCE
Hey, son, and I just saw it on that Google thing, man.
on Google? Ne? Okay, let's continue. So price is an okay. So core PCE price index, right? It's an economic indicator, right? Price changes may cause consumers to switch from buying one good to another. This is having substitutes. You see, for example, if you know what are substitutes, right? For example, if the price for cornflakes it increases, right? We have substitute. It's either you move to wheat bix, or you move to more white. You understand what I'm saying? It's substitute. Listen to this. It says price changes may cause consumer to switch from buying one good to another. And the PCE, what the fuck is PCE? But we're gonna go and Google what is PCE. Deflator can account for such substitutions. Nice substitute. This makes it the preferred measure of inflation for the Federal Reserve. Generally, a higher reading, this is what we want. This is what we want. It says a higher reading is bullish for the US dollar. You hear what it's saying, eh? While a lower reading is bearish for US dollar. Hmm. Beautiful. So you guys, you so okay, let's continue. It says core PCE is the Fed's preferred inflation measure. So it measures inflation and thus receives greater attention. A reading that is stronger than the forecast is generally supportive bullish for the USD. So meaning we already have our direction. While a weaker than forecast reading is generally negative for USD. You see what I'm talking about? Meaning they give us the direction, simple, right? I hope we're all together. What is the core? Let's open here and see what that is saying. In the United States, the core personal consumption, CPC, no, Tina, we want PCE, personal consumption expenditure. You see what is PCE? It's personal consumption expenditure price index. So it's core personal consumption expenditure price index. Provides a measure of the prices paid by people for domestic purchases of goods and services, excluding the prices. So the services they're talking about, right? It does not include food and energy. It was so bad of me to make example in terms of more mobile and cornflakes. I was just making example of what are substitutes. You understand? We have products that are inelastic, meaning inelastic. What I mean is products that does not have substitutes, right? For example, you have a car, right? And you do what? You go to a petrol station, you can never go there and when you get there and say, can you please put paraffin? You understand? So meaning a petrol is inelastic, does not really have substitute. You understand what I'm saying? So here we're talking of products that are elastic, meaning they got substitutes. But we're not talking of food and any. For example, we're talking what kind of products are those ones? Never ever put food. Don't talk of food. Like what kind of? We're here doing research together, guys, so we understand here what is core. It's called core personal consumption expenditure, right? What are those? They are elastic. Something that is elastic is something that you can get a substitute for. And what if the price of this thing is high? Okay, what can I use, for example? Like,
Rory, can the example be like, for instance, now we're going to winter, ne? So instead of wearing sandals, we start wearing boots. Does that count as well? Because I don't know, it's a personal use, but you cannot consume it.
it's can I get 2 seconds? 2 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Can I get the example again? There was a I had. Can I get the example again? Winter.
Okay. I'm saying now because the seasons are changing, ne? Instead
Yes.
of wearing sandals, we'll be wearing boots. So can that fall under that
Nice.
example?
They are substitute, right? They are substitute.
Yes.
Yeah. In terms of shoes, you substitute from sandals to toe. But here we're focusing more on price, right? Because in terms of boots, like I don't know how to put this one, but here we're focusing more on price, right? For example, like in fact, let's go back to petrol because we have 9.5 and 9.3, right? You go there, you get the price of 9.3 as 20, I think 22 rand, 9.5, 23 rand. They differ, right? Right? You can substitute and use 93 instead of 95. And I think, do we understand each other in terms of substitutes? Because you making an example, that one of sandals and whatnot, does not really focus more on price, right? Sandals and boots, it does not really focus more on price. You understand what I'm saying? So focusing more on price is like, for example, I don't know what example can I give. Let's Google. We have Google. Let's Google. Let's say give example of substitute of what can I say? Give example of products that
You can use cars, the Rory.
come again.
You can use things like cars, electronics, and furniture.
Cars, electronics. Yeah. I want no problem. Yeah, nice. Substitutes. I'll give you example of products that can be substituted. Example. What did I write there? Butter and margarine. Don't use food, except to food. Except food. Coke and Pepsi. I wanna know. Okay, cars, nice. Let's go to cars. Nice. Why was I not thinking of cars? You can substitute from BMW to Haval. What
Yeah.
a great downgrade. But oh, I'm sorry if there's someone who's driving. I'm so sorry. I never meant it to be personal. I'm so sorry. I never meant to say downgrade from BMW to Haval. Apologies. So you can substitute from BMW to Haval. You understand what I'm saying? Due to price, right? You go to the dealership. When you get there, they say, no, the price of a Haval is this and this and this, right? What's gonna happen to quantity demanded? What's gonna happen to demand, right? When the price of Haval is 100,000, price of BMW is, I'm making an example, right? 200,000. What's gonna happen? Most quantity demanded will be on what? The highest quantity demanded will be on what? The demand will be more on Haval, right? We understand the substitutes when we talk about substitutes, right? Why I never
Yes.
thought of a car, man? Hey, anyway,
What about energy, Chief?
come again.
What about energy, electricity, gas?
So they said we must
Yeah.
we must not talk of we must not include energy. Let's go down and back to CP. It says where is that information? It says except food and energy.
Okay.
Yes, so provides a measure of the prices paid by people for domestic purchases of goods and services, excluding the prices of food and energy. So what is more important?
I see.
They give us the direction, right? It says, reading here, it says, a reading that is stronger than forecast is generally supportive, right? Right, for the USD, while weaker than, you understand what I'm saying? So what does this tell us? What does it mean? What's going to happen to gold? Speaking of gold, what's going to happen, right? What's going to happen when we're having positive? Because according to this one, we have positive results here, right? Yeah, the forecast is positive. Let me not say positive result, but the forecast is positive. So what's our expectation on gold? We're here to
We're gonna
Gold will
sell gold.
beautiful, right? I liked that one. We're gonna do what? Sell gold. What time? 2:30, right? Right. So the tricky part starts here. The tricky part is that we have two events at the same time, right? This one is equal. You see, this one is equal, right? But these events are the same thing. The only difference is here, month to month, yeah, MOM. Does it really mean month to month? Where did I hear month to month? I think it's when I was doing my researches on YouTube. Hey, usually, so the only difference is here, right? But according to our research, right, at 2:30 we're selling gold, right? This is risk. If you don't risk, you understand what I'm saying, right? So by 2:30 we'll be selling gold. Why are we selling gold? Why are we selling? We're not just selling gold because we feel like, right? We're selling gold. We made enough research. We now know what is a CPE, right? We now know personal consumption expenditure. We now know what's happening when the results are positive, when the results are negative. We now know how it affects our US dollar. We now know, right? Right. So it says according to data here, right? We have the forecast bigger than the previous, meaning we're expecting strong dollar 2:30. Strong dollar meaning we're selling what? Gold, right? We're buying what? USD JPY. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm.
Yes. And speaking of NFP, my favorite. Speaking of NFP, is gonna be next week, right? Next week. Right. Where is NFP? Here is NFP. Here is NFP at 2:30. So we'll be having unemployment rate and non-farm payroll same time, right? We're gonna cook it, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, we're gonna cook it, and I know the numbers will be high. And the problem is, Zoom only accommodates 100 people. So, in fact, we will see how we cook it, how we're gonna deal with the numbers and blah blah. But otherwise, we have the signal for today. The signal was very, guys. I once paid for signal, this kind of signals, for news signals from DJ Coach. It was when, let me see, it was 2022. It was 2022. And he would just say, buy during this, just buy, just do it. Never explain anything. And no, this is very simple and straight, right?
Mm.
Very simple. But anyway, yeah, we'll cook NFP, right? Still far. Friday is still far and very far. Oh, next week, Friday, we're gonna cook NFP. And interesting because we have two, in fact, we even have hourly, average hourly earnings, 1, 2, 3, right? So we're gonna cook it and we're gonna come up with a direction, right? And again, we're gonna cook CPI, right? Yeah. And Thursday we have PMI. We have many things to cook. PMI at 4, and it's gonna move. Initial jobless claim, we're not cooking. The reason we're not gonna cook initial jobless claim because it happens almost after every 2 weeks. I don't know, but it's always there, so we're not gonna cook this one. And sometimes it does not move. So we're gonna focus on this one. We're not gonna cook it because check here, it says at 4 o'clock we have PMI again. In fact, I think we must make a session in terms of these sessions, these events, 1, 2, 3, 4, just to learn what's up with them. You see, because me, I don't know what's up with them. It says S&P 500. S&P, oh, you see, S&P Global Manufacturing PMI. We're gonna learn what's up with it, but no problem. We got our signal. I hope we're all happy, and let's make sure we make money. Making money matters, right? And make sure you risk, because if you don't risk, you're gonna sit on the same chair and it's very wrong. Otherwise, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for attending the session, Go Sell Gold, and we all confirmed it, right? Are we guys still together? Yes.
Yes, thank you very
Yes,
much.
Rory. Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys. Have a nice day.
Beautiful.
Make sure you
Thank you
withdraw.
very
The
much.
one.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Bye.
One of the best. Speaking.
Rory, you know.
I'm cool. Rory, you said it's a serious face.
Yeah, a very serious face. Only when I'm angry. Now I'm happy now.
One of the best.
Thank you.